This is Joe Pugh here for Nielsen Boxing. Delighted to be joined by the man himself, Mr. Mark Nielsen, the man of the hour after a fantastic evening of boxing here at the prestigious, legendary venue in London, Bethnal Green, York Hall. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, very well, very well. What an outstanding night. You know, great fights, great atmosphere, great show. And I just love York Hall. It's got so much history here. You know, somebody was telling me the other day, David Haye, Tyson Fury, you know, Carl Froch had his first 4 fights here. The history of this place is just steeped. And as a promoter, all the big promoters have been here as well, so now I'm here. It's just, you know, hairs on the back of my neck sort of turn up. I'm just sort of pinch myself, really, that I'm able to be a promoter in this venue. And, you know, what a great card. What a great night of boxing.
100%. You've made it a hat-trick tonight. It's your third show here at the York Hall, and it brought some fantastic 50-50 fights. We'll start off on a little bit of a downer. It got announced today that Jack McGann was off the card due to his opponent not leaving Italy. I think it was a pull-out of an opponent, but kind of Jordan Dujon got moved up to the main event. But just a quick word on when we can expect to see McGann out next.
He's back here 1st of October, top of the bill in a really big fight. I mean, we're really disappointed with that. We worked really hard trying to get that fight on. Their camp, you know, the guy's a former Italian champion, has fought in IBO internationals before, so he's a credible guy, credible team. But over the weekend, it's really frustrating for us that, you know, the cracks started to appear. They were starting to make a few more demands. And then he said, you know, for people who don't know, you know, he was starting to ask to get paid at the weigh-in rather than after the fight. And for people who don't know in boxing, no one gets paid before they fight because what might happen? They might disappear, not turn up. So we said, no, you can't do that. He said, well, we're not going to come over then. We said, I'll tell you what we'll do as a compromise. We'll speak to the British Boxing Board and put it in an escrow account. They said no. We said, tell you what, we'll speak to the Italian Boxing Federation and put it in an escrow account there. They said no. We said, do you know what? We'll pay you at the weigh-in then, but give us your passport so we know you're not going to jump on the plane. They said no. So I don't even think they really fancied it. I think they might have an ulterior motive. I'm just gutted for McGann. He sold a load of tickets, had some big A-list celebrities coming down. He was ready for it, was up for it, and was really hoping to make a mark here at the York Hall in the main event. But, you know, what chief support with Dujon and Maycock, they moved that up to the main event, and that certainly didn't disappoint, did it? You know, so let's talk about save the best till last. What a way to finish the night.
100%, and it could be seen as a compliment in the fact that he may have looked at McGann's performance against Brennan because it was a savage performance and kind of may have thought, oh, we don't really fancy that. So it kind of shows your intent and McGann's intent and their path to destruction on the Super Welter scene.
Absolutely. He hasn't had that many fights, McGann, but he was willing to step up this early. So I think it shows the faith that his camp have got in him. He's got Martin Murray behind him. He's obviously working with the Warrens, and there's some big platform. You know, we're looking at getting him on Box Nation in the future. So, you know, he's certainly a great prospect for us, titled by the end of the year.
100%, and there's a few fights I want to pick out in particular. First of all, the opener, Kieran Flanagan. He opened the first round of the first fight. Great on his toes, boxing against a very, very seasoned journeyman. And then the second round, he gets knocked down. And then in the final punch of the final round, he kind of got knocked down. And then you're not going to get a decision if you're knocked down twice in a 4-rounder. But he'll come again. And then we had Bo Reynolds in kind of a 4-round war. I think that third round ended up being like Gatti Wall round 9. Oh, how is that to kind of see that they are your prospects, but you're not going to be padding their records, are you, Mark?
Absolutely. And I saw a comment on Twitter, and it was saying, it makes a change for the home fighters not to get the wins. And I thought, you know, we can't expect that, and we don't want that. You know, these guys are coming in not just to fight an away opponent, and to get a win as a formality. And certainly for Kieran Flanagan in the first fight, to get put down in the first against Luke Fash as sort of like Fash having a flash knockdown on him, you know, we certainly wasn't expecting that. But I don't think he really recovered, because we know Kieran, he's got some great amateur experience. He's really good in the gym, looks really good in sparring, and I don't think he recovered. So it took him a while. He's disappointed, but he's quite positive, going to learn a lot from it, and I think he'll be back. And then when he got on to Bo Reynolds in the second fight, again, I think he'll learn an awful lot from that. You know, that was a surprise for him. He was expecting to win. He's very confident, comes from a great team, but he'll be back.
100%. And just while we're on Bo, I think you've had your youngest ever fan in the audience. Oh, absolutely amazing. A 3-week-old daughter of Bo's in the York Hall tonight. That's a great way to start the night.
Absolutely. I know that, start him young.
Yeah.
As a boxing fan, I don't think it gets any younger than that. And his partner and his child was sort of sat next to me during the fight, and I can tell the mum was desperate to try and get jumping up and down, but she's got a baby in her arms. But start him young. But it's great to have him here.
And some standout performance, Finley Judd. He brought the fans tonight, didn't he? The York Hall was incredibly loud, and then you've got Ernie Rutherford. He is certainly a character. These fighters that you're kind of bringing up, they've been on the shows now, carrying on getting them out on these Mark Nielsen Fight Town shows.
Yeah, well, with Finley, with a great team behind him, Rocky Williams and Charlie Oliver, he's certainly a star. We're in conversations with his team already about guaranteeing him some dates moving over the next 12 months. He's certainly going to become a feature of these York Hall shows. He's a talent. He looks the part, sounds the part, sells the tickets, and he can back it up in the ring. It's not going to be too long that we're going to be stepping him up to better calibre of opposition. But you could see tonight he had that bit of sort of venom in him, bit of sort of ruthlessness in his he was when the other guy was starting to put it back to him, he was turning it back on again, and he was enjoying it. So you can see he's going to go a long way.
And I think kind of the standout of the night, the whole talking point, was your latest Island Tosin. He was absolutely incredible. 3rd round knockout. He's raw, he's exciting, he's what fans love to see. And he's, best of all, he's only 20 years old. And I was speaking to his team, I was speaking to his trainer. They're so passionate, and they think he can go all the way. Yeah. He's improving every day in the gym, so they tell me. And he's certainly got the power, and he's certainly got the charisma.
Again, a great team. He's training with Mehdi Bilabi now, who also trains another one of my fighters, Brad Ingram. So he's got a good team behind him. But he's just raw, isn't he? He nearly fell into the ring, jumping up the steps. He nearly fell out of the ring, getting out. He's just a raw. He's young, and he's just full of testosterone, but he's got some power, And I think Mehdi will now just calm him down a little bit, get him a bit more organised, and I think he'll be a bit ruthless. I think you're going to see a lot more stoppages. The trouble I'm going to have with him now is getting him matched, because he's just got one way. He just wants to go out and have a fight, But as he progresses, he's already had, this is his 6th fight. He had 4 in Nigeria before he came over here. But I think we class him as a 2-0. You can tell he's got that. You look at someone like McGann, who's a 5-0. There's a sort of different level in their experience. So we're going to bring him on slowly, and if we're going to just improve him, but it's just like raw, volatile, but he can bang. And I tell you, the crowd loved it, didn't they?
The crowd loved it, and it's a fantastic signing, a signing with intent from you, because I think the big promoters will look at this tonight and say, wow, this kid has serious star power. And I was talking to Sean, I was talking to Mehdi, and they're so passionate about this fight. And I think with kind of Tosin coming over from Nigeria, it's a breath of fresh air, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we followed him around. We've been to see him sparring before we signed him, before he fought over here. He made his debut in the UK, his first UK fight on our show in Swindon, and we could see he's got some great talent. So with Sean and his team, we were delighted to sign him, and they can go a long way over here.
And moving on to the main event then, Jordan Dujon. He was in a fantastic fight. It kind of started off slow, a bit cagey, then Maycock really just brought it, and fantastic counters all the way from Dujon. And then before the decision, Jarrah comes over to me and goes, look, we've got Lee Cutler next. He was meant to be here tonight. Southern Area title. October, I'm led to believe it's back here at the York Hall. What a fantastic fight that would be. Lee Cutler versus Jordan Dujon. Yeah. Fantastic, Mark.
Yeah, mouth-watering that, isn't it? Isn't it just, we were watching that tonight, and, it started off a bit cagey the first couple of rounds, but then you see Jordan just sort of stepping it up. And by the time at the end, I thought he might have been able to stop him in the 8th, because he was starting to tire, starting to feel the pressure of those punches. But, a main event, at some stage in the future with Lee Cutler Southern Area, we'll have McGann in titles. This is looking really exciting for these York Hall shows at the end of the year.
100%. And you said you're going to have a slight break for summer now. Much deserved. I've been to a couple of these shows now, and they're just growing. Every time they're growing. It was more busy tonight than I've ever seen it at the York Hall for a Mark Nielsen Fight Town show. Run me through your schedule for the rest of the year, because I got here earlier tonight and I was so impressed by the production, I was so impressed by the staff, the professionalism of Mark Nielsen Boxing.
Yeah, well, we've got a good team. With the model that we're applying is now getting better. We're trying to learn from our mistakes. that we've made in the past and trying to fine-tune it. And I think we're getting there. We're certainly not the finished article. You know, the production value, we spend a lot of time and a lot of investment on. We don't cut any corners. We try and get the matching right so we get entertaining fights. So it's not just the boxers' own fans who are coming to see them. The people are coming to York Hall and the Ilkeston Boxing Fight Town show knowing they're going to get a really good night of boxing. We're back out 9th of September, we're here. 24th of September, we're back out in Swindon. 1st of October, we're back here. You know, we're going to be on like 14 shows by the end of the year. I think the number 20 has been mentioned for next year. We just want to get busier. We want to maintain the quality, maintain the standard. I can see my team over there looking at me, sort of wincing when I say these big numbers about what we're going to do later on in the year. But I think, you know, we're in discussions with Box Nation. We're hoping to get the September shows, get the agreement in place for that. So there's a platform for these boxers to be on the TV and get a wider audience. It's just, you know, I'm really excited. First and foremost, I'm a fight fan. I've said it a number of times before, and I love sitting at ringside and putting these fights on, getting these fights matched and just, you know, enjoying it. When you see like Ernie Rutherford, we touched on earlier, I think he had nearly 300 people in here. The atmosphere is electric. I love those kind of fight nights. And, you know, we're certainly bringing those to York Hall, so yeah, excited.
And the likes of Ernie is kind of, it shows the support you get when it takes him 20 minutes to go to get to his medical. It takes him another 20 minutes to get back here to this interview. He reaps that charisma, he reaps everything you need, star quality. And for you yourself, you don't just need talent, you need that star quality. You need that ticket sellers to make these shows, not just great boxing shows, but great events. And this is what it's becoming tonight. So thank you once again, Mark. A fantastic night at Fight Town here at York Hall. Anything you'd like to say before you jet off for your summer holidays?
Well, enjoy the break. We're back, as we said, in those dates in September, and we're just going to be getting better and better. We're signing more boxers, we're working with more managers, we're doing more promotional agreements. If you like what you saw tonight, just keep coming because it's going to get better and better.